a tutti! Welcome to Italy for the third time this year. We originally planned to be in Brazil, but due to a late change, we find ourselves at the historic track of Mantova for the MXGP of Lombardia. Ever since it was announced that we were coming back here for the first time since 2010, speculation has been rife as to what conditions we'll find here. Well, looking around me now, I can tell you that it reminds me of Latvia. Sandy, but with a hard base, and Italy has been baking, so don't expect it to get too deep. Last time we were here, the podium was Cairoli, De Salle and Max Nagel. And it's great news that Max is back for the first time since his injury in round 10. And knowing a little bit about his mentality, I can tell you that he will not come back unless he's ready to win. Which means Roman Federer and Goto Polan, who will resume their championship fight this weekend, better watch out.
I'm Kevin Strybels, number 22, riding for the Rockstar Energy Suzuki World.
Brian Bogus, 189, riding for the AZF Logistics Motorsport Team.
It's a pretty short start straight into turn 1, but it is wide, but it tightens up as they go through slightly past 90 degrees, immediately down past pit lane, 100 meters or so into turn 2 again. Slightly tighter than 90 degrees. Exit there into the first of the step-up jumps. Up on the pegs through turn 3, because then we have a very steep first jump that takes us through a double, triple combination into turn 4 or 180 left. On the gas over a short little kick-up. And then we hit another step-up jump right in front of the main crowd through this fast sweeping left-hander, the turn 5 over the first Monster Energy tabletop, landing in a bomb hole over a slight float up. And this used to be a 180 left, switch back into a 180 right, but as you can see, it's a 90 left, 90 right, just to open it up, keep it flowing as they head over the Ippon tabletop jump. Into this right-hander, short straight, into the left, and then the second of the Monster Energy tabletop jumps on the exit of the turn, jumping through the turn as well. Again, another short straight when they land, and then we have this double apex right-hander. Again, it used to be more of a 180, but just keeping the momentum going. Exit through there, through the left, and then we have a rhythm section. Step on, step off if you're on the outside. Maybe double through on the inside, over a triple, and then uphill for the first time through the bank, dropping back down the other side. And there are 3 of these turns, up and downhill, 180s at the bottom of the hills. It will get choppy as they exit the turns, and as they hit the base of the uphills, get pretty choppy through there as well. The final downhill into the 180 right, taking the riders back up to the least highest of these embankments. And on the exit of this particular one, we enter the rhythm section. If you come on the left-hand side, it's a triple, double, double right the way through, but on the right-hand side, double, double, double all the way through. And then we hit the penultimate jump on the track, a pretty big tabletop jump. The final turn is here, the right-hander. The Monster Energy finish line jump is here, and we're back onto the start straight to complete the lap in Mantova.
Technology and specifically electronic control has been a hot topic in the paddock this year, with the factory teams all vying for the best software and support to enable their riders to lap consistently faster. One company that has dominated this sector is the Athena and Get, with the technicians playing a huge part in the development of the MXGP World Championship so far.
Coming from humble origins in the late 1970s as a gasket business in the founder's garage, Athena quickly grew into a market desperate for quality replacements for OEM parts. It was the acquisition of Get in 2008 that was the sea change that brought them into MXGP in a big way, as off-road technology raced into the 21st century.
One of the things that we're looking at was what was missing in this business. It is clear that the car technology was absolutely ahead of the two-wheelers technology, but we decided to engineer solutions based on the actual need of the two-wheelers.
The relationship with Athena started an age ago in 2007. We worked a lot in those times on the electronics of the bike on the two-stroke. And then we took what we knew to the four-strokes. And from there, in 1 year, we did the development in the bike of that time, which still had the carburetor, and we put all we knew into that electronic control unit.
Well, there's two main types of parameters we record. The first is the input from the rider, so that would be throttle position and RPM, and the position on the track where the rider is. And then the other main thing is the engine data, temperatures, the output of the ignition, the output of the fuel injection system.
Teams are well skilled with all these parameters. They know what influence the behavior of the engines, as well as normal users can have this knowledge. So we also prepare something that is easy to handle also for normal user.
Every market that you go in, even if you have a well-known brand, what you have to do, especially for a technical products like Get, you have to prove the product, the quality, the reliability of the products.
Once every 2-3 months, we set a test with Get, each rider. We have the data logging system on the bike with Lambda control. The whole day we make the test. We can adjust the power curve and the mappings on each rider on the rider style.
Actually, 450 engine are very powerful, and then today you need kind of electronic support to perform better and to make your rider feeling more comfortable and then also going faster.
There are a lot of things that that little box is doing. You know, most of the people, they don't know how it's working and what it's going to do. So technology-wise, there is a big jump from the old CDI boxes and or the first ECU for the fuel injection machines to what we are using right now.
Every year you have to modify your work, you have to develop the machine or modify something that before you were not even thinking for. So then you need them with the electronic technology fully supporting you for what you change on your R&D.
When you are servicing this market, performance market is guiding you on how to approach the customer, is guiding you how to serve the customer better.
One manufacturer that has pursued their own route is Husqvarna, with their split MXGP and MX2 team of Wilvo Nissan Husqvarna Factory Racing.
The 2 years that we are with Husqvarna now, it was a lot of job, a lot of testing, a lot of organizing, but it felt good. We had a very good team behind us. Motorsport is doing a really great job. Our sponsors being behind us for this project. For sure, 2 years when you have to start from zero, it's a hard time. Especially we have to travel a lot with the riders, with mechanics, with everything to all the different tracks to make all the tests. That takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and that's why I'm happy that we are on the level where we are now.
Well, that level included a surprise podium for substitute MX2 rider Harry Kulas in Latvia.
The feeling that Harry was being on the podium in Latvia was like unreal, because we started riding with him on Monday before Latvia. We used a lot of energy from him. And then we came to Latvia and thinking, oh, we had a good week. On this point, it ends up with the podium. Yeah, for sure, that was really emotional. Well, this is very difficult to reach.
The man who he replaced was the injured Alexander Tonkov, a unique character.
Alexander is Alexander. Alexander is a very nice person. He's a little bit ups and downs. It's very difficult how, when he arrives on the team, how you gonna handle him, because he likes fun, but he's also professional. Yeah, the only thing is when he has a bad day, for him it's hard to have some result. When he has a good day, he's on the podium.
The sole MXGP rider is Dean Ferris, who isn't yet racing as well as he hoped.
With Dean, for sure, important is as team you believe in a rider. And we believe in the rider even before Dean was injured. We start riding middle of January. Then many times we get like, he feels some pain or some negative feelings on his leg. Yeah, we spoke for sure a lot to him with mental coach, with everything. And that's why from the outside it looks Dean is not fit and he can be not fast, but he's fast and he is fit, he is professional. But with all those small injuries, yeah, he can do better.
Race wins have been high points, but what does Jackie think the team as a whole deserves out of 10 for their work this year?
Perfect, nobody is perfect, but I think 8, 9. I think that is a nice number that we do. Every GP we try to do the best. We work hard, and it's just between 8 and 9. I think I have a good feeling with that, and I think other teams appreciate it.
Well, Harry Kulas qualified in 5th, but it was Max Anstey who raced to his 4th consecutive pole position, a rider who is going to have to really start winning races if he's going to have a chance at winning the World Championship in 2015. And it was Anstey who burst out of the blocks up the inside, but he wasn't quite quick enough, as it was Jeremy Seewer on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki that grabbed the foxhole shot. Behind him there was carnage all over the place. And going into turn 2, Jeremy Seewer already lost the advantage and then went down as Kulas had to push his bike to pit lane to get it started. But it was Max Anstey who led the way in the early stages as Bernardini fell, and then at the start of the second lap, Anstey fell from the lead, handing the advantage to Pauls Jonas, Tim Geisser and Valentin Guillot, who also fell in front of Anstey this time and fell back to 6th. Brian Stew, having a great ride in his debut MX2 Grand Prix, was mixing it with the big boys and was careful not to get involved in the fight for the title, allowing an easy route through for Valentin Guillot, who was on the charge towards the front of the field. So too was Benoit Paturel, number 6. Geisser, though, had Pauls Jonas in his sights. Adam Sterry was also here as a wild card. Eventually he came home in 9th place as Thomas Covington battled, but it was all to no avail in race 1. Geisser made a silly mistake. He fell from 2nd place, and that allowed Max Anstey into 2nd, and then he went after the Red Bull KTM of Pauls Jonas, and that was the battle that everybody was interested in here at Mantova. Anstey tried a few times, but eventually his opportunity came and he didn't throw it away. 6 laps to go. The Kawasaki rider was through into the lead and started to pull clear of Jonas as Geiser held on for third. And it was Anstey who was victorious in race 1. After losing vital ground to his rivals Paul Jonas and Tim Geiser in race 1, it was time to focus for Valentin Guillot if he was going to claw back those points in his quest for a first world title. A good start would be needed. And when the gate dropped, it wasn't a good jump for the number 92, and it was to get worse as well. Before he made it to turn 1, he was involved in this horrendous collision that took out the 2 Suzukis of Siwa, Brian Shute, Damon Growlers, and the 92 of Valentin Guillot himself. But it was Henry Jacobi, number 29 on the Sarholz KTM, that took the foxhole shot as Valentin Guillot remounted and rejoined the race. Max Anstey, though, wasted no time in getting to the front. Jonas was there in second, Geiser just a few positions further back. Benoit Paturel was in third, going after the 41 of Jonas, as Guillot, trying extra hard, made a few more mistakes in the early stages of the race, going out of 19th place there, losing positions down to 22nd, as Bernardini also made some mistakes. He crashed out of 13th place on his TM. Jonas, Paturel and Geiser, though, all battled over second position for the majority of the race. Geiser found his way past the Frenchman, got himself into third with that move through the chicane to the delight of his home crowd, and then he went after Jonas and took second away from the Latvian. Unfortunately for him, Max Anstey was too far gone on his number 99 Kawasaki, who was looking supremely confident, and he went on to take the win ahead of Geiser and Jonas. Paturel was fourth, Getterman was fifth, and it was Anstey who was victorious this weekend ahead of Geiser and Jonas. And Paul Jonas still has a 4-point advantage over Tim Geiser. Anstey propelled to third in the fight for the title with that double moto win. And the championship now looks like it's coming down to these 3 guys.
Welcome back to a very sticky Italy. This is round 15 and it's been quite a journey getting here in the MXGP class, with different riders all taking their turns at the top. Here's a look back at who has done what to get themselves up there in 2015.
First blood in Qatar went to the new combination of Husqvarna and Max Nagel, and with it, the red plate. The rampage of Villapoto in Thailand wasn't enough to get the overall lead that went to second place Clement de Sal, as Nagel was hurt by the heat. He hit back in Neuquén, Argentina, with a vicious overall win at the expense of his rivals, but de Sal was still on top. Cairoli won a race in Italy, but Nagel was on a roll and dominated the overall, as his rivals fell. Somehow, de Sal clung on to the red plate. But by the time we got to round 6, Nagel was in red and riding in the form of his life. And he needed to, as Cairoli upped his game on the 450 and Fevre swung into view with a podium. Cairoli won the overall in the UK, but it was Fevre who stole the show with his maiden race win. Then it all changed. First de Sal crashed in France. Then Cairoli hit the dirt hard in Maggiora. And Nagel was taken out at his home round in Germany. Who would step up? Well, the 461 of Febvre, that's who, winning a stunning maiden overall at his home race in France. His second followed quickly in Italy. And he sealed the hat-trick in Germany at Teufelstal. And with it, got his hands on the coveted red plate. The only man who could challenge him was Paulhan, who had so emphatically won in the sands of Holland. But on the hard pack, no one could hold a candle to Febvre. In Latvia and Lommel, Paulhan tried his best and was able to reduce the gap at the top. But with 2 more podiums taking his total run to 9, Febvre put himself in a commanding position with 4 Grand Prix to go. With 200 points up for grabs, there is still fight in this championship, but it is now right in Febvre's sights, if he can stay the course. MXGP Race 1 burst into life, and it was Jose Butron who grabbed the Foxhole shot. But behind him, all kinds of drama that took out all 3 Red Bull Ice 1 factory Husqvarnas, including the returning Max Nagel. Dean Ferris, though, led the way on his Volvo Nastad Husqvarna as Butron tried to make a move around the outside. Bobryshev got himself into second with that pass on the Spaniard, as David Philipparts, who felt that turn 1 was out. So too, hitting the ground was Gauthier Paulhan. He fell from 4th and remounted in 7th, handing a massive advantage to 461 Romain Febvre, who was now charging his way to the front. Frossard crashed out and would not rejoin the race as Bobryshev led for Team HRC. All the while, though, Romain Febvre was pushing and just waiting for his opportunity to find his way into the lead, knowing that Paulhan was behind him. And he didn't need a second invitation either, with that smooth pass at the bottom of the hill. Dean Ferris continued to run riot, and eventually he came home in 7th position, as Febvre started to pull clear of Bobryshev. Simpson hanging on to 3rd, but with 3 laps to go, Van Hoorbeek was through. And it wasn't long before Gauthier Paulhan, who'd got himself back into contention, went past Simpson and charged into 4th with 2 laps to go. Couldn't quite do anything, though, about the Yamaha of Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, who secured 3rd. Glenn Coldenhoff, meanwhile, eventually brought his Rockstar Energy Suzuki home in 6th. But no one was a match for Romain Febvre in race 1. Bobryshev was 2nd, Van Hoorbeek was 3rd, Paulhan was 4th ahead of Simpson. Gauthier Paulhan up the inside, thought he'd made a better start this time, but it was Jeremy Van Hoorbeek who grabbed the Foxhole shot. And by turn 2, Paulhan was down. His teammate, Genny Bobryshev, clipped his teammate as he went through. And Romain Febvre was well placed, Sean Simpson likewise in 2nd. But then he took the lead by turn 3, as Romain Febvre took a major look back to see exactly where Gauthier Paulhan was. And knowing that his rival was on the deck, he was able to concentrate on the task at hand, which was closing down Jeremy Van Hoorbeek on the number 89, his teammate. And this pass got him into 2nd. And the Frenchman went after Simpson a lap later and very quickly took the lead. Philip Bengtsson made a good start on the 24MX Honda as Max Nagel charged his way through the field as Paul Ann found his way past Charlier to take 7th. Bobashev was battling with Nagel. He found a way through to get himself ahead of the German into 5th place. And Koldenhoff, who'd got to 3rd for 2 laps, then fell back down to 7th, allowing Sean Simpson back into 3rd place. Paul Ann and Nagel were at it once more. And Paul Ann then made this mistake, and he fell 2 positions from 6th to 8th and would have it all to do again. Sean Simpson survived this scare and managed to hold on to 3rd with Jeremy Van Hoorbeek in his sights, who was doing a great job in 2nd position. But it was Max Nagel's turn to fall on the last lap with 3 or 4 corners to go, and the German would fall from 5th place and drop down to 10th. But it was a Yamaha 1-2 in race 2, Romain Fevre leading the way home. His teammate Jeremy Van Hoorbeek. Simpson was 3rd, but Romain Fevre is now almost home and dry in his battle for the World Championship, and he'll look to try and seal the deal next time out at Assen.
You know, it's not finished. Maybe it's gonna be finished next weekend, so we will see.